The rain had just started to fall when Daniel stepped out of his car, a soft drizzle tapping against the black umbrella in his hand. He almost didn't notice her at first. His eyes were fixed on the gravestone in front of him, the one he had visited every Sunday for the past 3 years. But then a movement near the old oak tree caught his attention. A woman stood there, dressed in a dark coat, her back turned to him, her posture stiff as if she were carrying a weight heavier than grief itself. Daniel's heart skipped. No one ever visited this grave except him and his daughter. And just as he wondered who she was, she slowly turned her head, looked straight at him, and whispered words that made his knees go weak. "Your father saved my life, and he never told you." Before the story goes any further, pause for a moment. If you believe stories about hidden kindness, second chances, and unexpected truths matter, like this video and subscribe to the channel, because this story will stay with you long after it ends. Daniel had lost his father, Samuel, suddenly to a heart attack. One day he was the quiet, dependable man who fixed broken fences for neighbors and packed lunch for his granddaughter. The next, he was gone. Samuel had never been a man of many words. He believed love was shown through actions, not speeches. Daniel grew up thinking he knew everything about his father, but grief has a way of revealing how little we truly understand the people we love. Since his wife's death 2 years later, Daniel had become a single dad, balancing work at a small hardware store with raising his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Life was hard, but predictable. Until that woman appeared. The woman slowly walked toward him, her shoes sinking into the wet grass. She looked to be in her late 40s, her face pale, eyes red as if she had cried for days. Daniel felt a strange mix of fear and curiosity. "I'm sorry," she said softly, stopping a few feet away. "I didn't mean to intrude. I've been trying to gather the courage to come here for months." Daniel swallowed. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice barely steady. She took a deep breath. "My name is Eleanor. And your father, he changed the course of my life." They stood there as rain soaked their clothes, neither willing to move. Eleanor told him she had been a stranger once, a desperate young woman fleeing an abusive marriage. She had run out of money, hope, and strength, collapsing near the old bus station late one winter night. Samuel had been there, returning home after fixing a late plumbing emergency. He had seen her shaking, bruised, and terrified. Instead of walking past, he had offered her his coat, a hot meal, and a place to rest. He didn't ask questions. He didn't demand explanations. He simply helped. "He gave me money, helped me find a shelter, and checked on me every week until I was strong enough to start over," Eleanor said, tears streaming down her face. "He told me one thing: when you're safe again, live a life that proves pain doesn't get the last word." Daniel felt his chest tighten. This was a side of his father he had never known. Samuel had never mentioned Eleanor. Never hinted at saving someone. He had carried this secret kindness silently. Eleanor explained that she had built a new life, remarried, started a small bakery, and raised 2 sons. But the guilt of never thanking Samuel properly haunted her. When she heard of his death through an old shelter volunteer, she promised herself she would one day come and say goodbye. As days passed, Eleanor didn't disappear from Daniel's life. She returned, not as a stranger, but as someone deeply connected to his father's legacy. She met Lily, bringing warm pastries and a gentle smile that instantly won the child's heart. Slowly, Daniel found himself opening up about his struggles, about the loneliness, the exhaustion, the fear of failing as a father. Eleanor listened the way Samuel once had, without judgment, without rushing to fix things. But life doesn't allow healing without challenges. Daniel soon learned that the hardware store he worked at was closing. With no savings and rent overdue, panic set in. One night, sitting at his kitchen table surrounded by unpaid bills, Daniel broke down for the first time in years. Lily hugged him tightly and whispered, "Grandpa always said things work out when people help each other." Those words echoed painfully. The next morning, Eleanor arrived with news that felt unreal. She wanted to partner with him. She planned to open a second bakery closer to town and needed someone trustworthy to manage operations. "Your father trusted me when I had nothing," she said. "Let me return that trust to you." Daniel hesitated, pride fighting desperation. But then he remembered Samuel's quiet belief in kindness without conditions. The bakery became more than a business. It became a place where stories were shared, where struggling parents found warmth, where Lily did homework in the corner while Daniel worked. Over time, Daniel realized the true gift his father had left behind wasn't money or property, it was a chain of compassion that refused to break.